Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the transatlantic number SF-195-AL. This is a mortise style, aluminum storefront style flush bolt, is what this is. There are different versions of these flush bolts that exist in the sense that their dimensional properties can vary, but we're going to go over exactly this item's dimensional properties so that you can be sure that this is correct for what you need. And what I refer to about different is that there are different offsets, and this is an 1/8 of an inch offset. And that offset is going to come into play when calculating the distance from the face of the faceplate to the offset of where the mounting point is. And this is indeed an 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so when you insert this into the door, from the face of the door to the face of where you attach this to, or the underside of the inside style of the door, will be 1/8 of an inch. There are different ones, so be sure that's the most crucial thing, that that dimension is compatible. You know, if your offset is greater than that, it's not really going to work that well. If what you need, I don't believe there are any that are smaller than this. I suppose if the offset that you had was greater, you might be able to make this work, but not really, because you can't add a washer back there and build it off, because then this plate won't be flush. So 1/8 of an inch is going to be really important that you match. Now, faceplate dimensions are obviously important. They've got this at 4, and they've got it at 4.5 in the extended description. This is closer to 4.25 in terms of the height. The width, they have it at 15/16, and I'd say that that would be accurate. 5/32 of an inch radius. Those are rounded corners there, as you can see. Wouldn't worry too much about that. If you've got a round corner, I've never seen a different radius on one of these aluminum storefront bolts. Obviously in the thrown position, or maybe not obviously, but that's in the thrown position, locked position, or retracted position. Okay. Obviously in the aluminum color. This is a mortise bolt. This is a mortise bolt used on commercial storefront and architectural aluminum narrow style doors, made for easy installation. Replaces most brands of storefront flush bolts. Automatic spring-loaded lever action, meaning that there's a spring that governs this so that you get a very positive locking up and down. 12-inch bolt, and here is the bolt. It's going to have a nut, threaded portion, a plastic head. And when they say 12-inch, what they're really referring to is at the top of the door. Well, it should be, at least. Let's take a look. It really isn't. I don't know how they're gauging this storefront material, but the overall length, generally a flush bolt is the top or bottom of the door to the center of the faceplate. That's not how this one's working. The overall length of this is 10 and 9/16 from the top of the threaded head to the bottom of the threaded end. And obviously that's going to work just like this. We've got that nut to keep it secured down. The bolt is not going to be round. It will be like a square profile, and this one is with a radiused end on it. And that's because of the flush bolt guide that you're going to have. There are different versions of this as well. So let's give you a couple of dimensional properties, and I forgot one on the body that we'll go over in a moment. Over from the mounting end of what would be the face of the door where the screw would go to hold it in, to the start of that hole is the dimension we're looking at now. 3/8 of an inch. Okay. Overall height of the mounting plate, about 1.5 inches. Overall width, about 1 3/8 inches. Okay. Single hole there, and you're going to get a screw for attaching that to the door. And because it's aluminum, you'll have a aluminum complementary color that will hold that into the door, top or bottom, naturally. The other dimension I forgot would be the distance of the mounting holes, the center to center of these points. And that dimension is going to be, they have it at 5 and 7/32, so 5 1/4 basically. I would agree with that. This would be quite closely 5 1/4. As you can see down there, about 5 1/4. Okay. Screw hole center line. Made of nylon to prevent binding. Okay. It must refer to the bolt and guide. You know, it's made of nylon to be inexpensive, would be my answer to that. Supplied with a 12-inch rod, square nylon bolt, nylon keeper, and fasteners. Again, there are 3 screws, 2 for the body and then 1 for the guide. And finally, there is, well, tantamount, there is a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure, which is very handy, which will allow you to review the hardware as it pertains to this class of material from the manufacturer, aluminum door hardware. And actually that catalog section that we have there is the old Transatlantic catalog. And Transatlantic was an importer of hardware for decades, located in Philadelphia. And myself and my family, for at least 3 generations, purchased material from Transatlantic, and they were great because they were deep in inventory, they were pleasant to work with, they shipped out predictably and reliably, and if ever there was a mistake, they certainly made good on it, and there really never were. Then they were bought out by another company and changed to another company, and all is still pretty much fairly reasonable, but I do miss the good old days of it being simple and straightforward and just shipping it out quickly to you. However, the quality of the product line does not seem to have changed whatsoever, so that's a benefit in all the recent changes the last several years. If you have any questions on the Transatlantic, their SF-195-AL flush bolt for aluminum storefronts or any other Transatlantic product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.